Welcome to Brand Builders TV. Deep dive topics, tools and resources brought to you by global thought leaders from within the Brand Builders Club. This show gives you access to the strategies that you can use to move forward with ease and flow in every area of your life and business. In today's show, Fiona is going to deep dive on whose standards and values are you actually working with. Learn it, model it, and get shit done. Let's go.
Hello, good morning. My name's Fiona Dilston and this is Brand Builders TV. So, what I want to talk about this morning is yet more of the people-pleasing stuff. Because, there's a lot of us that do it. And this morning I want to talk about people-pleasing and money. And the way that we don't trust ourselves, we don't trust our own opinions. Yes, it's, vital to know what is going on a bigger level. But I'm talking about fitting in with money. I'm talking about doing what's expected of you and being afraid to go against the grain. And I'm sure that everybody knows the old adage of, if you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always got. And, people get worried about money. I can remember from many years ago, from counselling work I was doing with somebody, peer-to-peer stuff, where this lady said to me that money is the thing that we have the most distress about. Money is the thing that people have the most arguments about, people have the most issues with. And, it's a thing that can make or break relationships. And, do you tune into how something sits with you? Or are you willing to think it through, to go against the grain, to maybe take a risk, a calculated risk that somebody else would go, oh my God, no, about? Are you willing to really listen to yourself and check things out for yourself when people around you are saying you can't do that? Yeah, it is enormous, and it's only through me having taken some calculated leaps in the dark that I am managing as an alternative health practitioner to have a roof over my head, to have made that step out of hobbyist, out of earning pin money, to I'm going to do something that means I am the breadwinner. And that's fine. It's good. But it does mean going against the grain, going against the going rate, and people going, you're too expensive. And I would be saying, well, I'm not the practitioner for you. Maybe there's somebody else who is in the position where they can charge less, who's the right person for you. Or maybe you need to think about, can I make this leap? Can I really look at my values around money? Can I look at where I am spending, what I am spending on? Because it's very, very interesting what people do value and what people do spend on. People might spend on a holiday, but they might not spend on their health. I've gone the other way. I invested in my training. I've run a series of old vehicles. It's not an issue, it's a choice. And it's making that choice, being prepared to, as I say, go against the grain, to say, this is what I want. This is what sits right for me. Because I listened to other people in the past. I listened to other people in my late teens, in my 20s. I did what was expected. And I made decisions in my 30s that, I wanted to train as a homeopath. I wasn't sure where the money was going to come from, but I knew that I was prepared to juggle, to compromise, to put other things to one side, to say, I don't want a holiday, I want this. And it's that commitment to yourself, that being in it for the longer haul, and saying, okay, I'm not going to have this now, but I am assuring my future. And I'm proud of myself that I have done that I have said to myself, I will, have things on a small scale so that I can assure things for later. I'm not somebody who has ever had a straight job. And I am as well a highly sensitive person. You might not think it to look at me, but I am. And I could not deal with working in an office, working with loads of people around me. I've made my choices, chosen to trust what I felt, trust what I knew inside. And literally, put my money where I needed for me. Compromise. I worked as a medium with a paranormal organisation while I was training as a homeopath. I was ridiculed for it. I had people taking the piss left, right and centre. But that is okay. That's where other people are at. And people don't get it. But I'm digressing there somewhat from talking about money, which is what I want to talk about and get clear. It's your money. You decide. If you make a mistake, you've learned by it. And I've had conversations with people who've said, I've inherited whatever from a family member and I've lost lots of money through having businesses that I maybe didn't get advice for. And there is a level here of we learn by it. Maybe if we'd not totally focused on ourselves and we sought a little bit of advice, we might have made a different decision. It is a vexed one. It really, really is. But I remember having a conversation with somebody saying they'd wasted lots of money. I don't know whether wasted is the right term. They had lost out on things in one business, but then they gained in another. And it is a learning curve. It truly, truly is. So yes, do you value yourself? Do you value your opinions? Or do you seek out keeping other people happy? And there is a balance. There is a huge balance to be achieved. Do you go with what your family's done? What your friends do? Or do you say, I'm going to take a leap here? It's important to be willing to look beyond what is in front of your nose. Because there is a horrible thing called the going rate. And that's what everybody else is charging when it comes to what you're asking for when you are in business. And with the going rates, all you may be doing is buying into other people's views, opinions, and the lovely phrase, poverty consciousness, where you are not willing to stick your head above the parapet and say, this is what I do, and it's worth what I feel it's worth. Because your own self-worth and your net worth do tie in. And the more you value yourself and the more you are willing to step beyond listening to what everybody else tells you, the more you are going to be able to shine that light that is you. If you think about just stepping above, stepping out of, stepping to the side even of, the network that you grew up with, the network you're with now, stepping out of that, stepping into, this is me. Getting that sense of belief in yourself rather than believing in other people, believing in their values, believing in them saying, oh, I wouldn't do that. Oh, I wouldn't spend my money on that course. And I've spent money on courses and I've learned. And sometimes what I've learned is how bloody okay I am. And it's crucial that you do listen to yourself. That you don't keep looking outwards for answers. That you go against that grain. That you say, yeah, this is what I fancy doing. This is where I am going to spend my money. Because if I come back to my choice to train as a homeopath, my choice to put money into other trainings that I have done, I have had judgment, scaredness, wariness from friends who have said, oh, I wouldn't risk doing that. And indeed, self-employment isn't for everybody. But sometimes you are in the position, and I felt in that position. I wanted to put my energy into bringing up my daughter. Being self-employed has meant I could call the shots. I could choose the hours I worked. And indeed, I worked when she was in school. I worked after she'd gone to bed. When I was training, I was blagging childcare here and there. And working nights, working weekends. There is this need to not get tied up in other people's fear around money. Everybody's got a horror story. People often keep quiet about their good stories, about their success stories, because they're afraid that somebody's going to start having a go. Also, because they're keeping their eye on the ball and they are staying in their lane and saying, I don't want to deal with people's fear stuff, people's negativity, people's, you can't do that, sharp intake of breath stuff. No. I'm going to keep this short this morning. I am going to say, start trusting yourself. Start listening to yourself. You don't need to go with the going rate. You don't need to seek out the cheapest. You need to please yourself. When you are happy, when you're in a good space, the good stuff comes your way. Like attracts like. So think about, what can I do for myself that is good? Think about risking other people being unhappy. Okay, thanks for watching. My name's Fiona Dilston, and this has been Brand Builders TV. Lots of love. Bye for now.
I hope that you've enjoyed the show today as much as we've enjoyed making it for you. If you've got anything out of this episode, please do tell someone else how they can subscribe to the Brand Builders TV channel at youtube.com/brandbuilderstv. Why not join us at our next Brand Builders Thinkubator, a global mastermind that we run every week to take away the loneliness of being in business on your own. For more information and to book your place, visit light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. That's light.brandbuilders.club/Thinkubator. Until next time, be the ripple that you wish to see in the world, and we'll see you soon.